really just trying to stay committed to the mission of rebuilding New Orleans and educate GWU students about both the hurricane and the socioeconomic and educational difficulties New Orleans faces while helping rebuild.
The basis of the trip is to do service and give back to the community in the area, but also to learn about the culture of the area, learn how you're impacting the community, and learn how much also the community has been impacted by either, in this case, Hurricane Katrina, but in other areas.
GWU has been working with Habitat for Humanity. We've been building houses, we've been fixing roofs, we've been putting insulation into these new houses for the owners of New Orleans that had previously had their houses either demolished or damaged because of Hurricane Katrina.
I want you to think about this. Little nonprofit builds houses with our wonderful partner families, a very small staff, and all of you great volunteers. But for the last 3 years, we've been the largest single-family home builder in the entire New Orleans metropolitan area. That's something we can be thank you.
We also like to incorporate speakers, so with this trip we saw the Tulane president speak, we saw Mark Schlefstein speak from a local newspaper, and we've seen Liz McCartney, a GW alumni, speak about her St. Bernard's project. We took a tour of the levees by the Army Corps of Engineers, and it's just been, we've just been trying to combine speakers with doing service, so just to get a large aspect of what has happened in New Orleans post-Katrina and how the community is moving forward for that, and what else needs to be done.
I think 4.5 years after the storm, there's some people who assume that because we're a wealthy nation, things in New Orleans have been fixed. The reality is, as you've seen, they haven't been. Many people are back in their homes, many businesses have been reopened, but there's still a lot of people who are struggling to either find an affordable place to live through an organization like Habitat, or to rebuild the home that they own through an organization like mine, St. Bernard's Project.
And when you go home to your colleges, your fraternities and sororities, your social clubs, your faith communities, everywhere, your parents, tell people the job's not done. Our greatest fear is that we are forgotten. We become the catastrophe du jour and people forget. Tell them it's still going on. We're vital, we're resilient people, we're rebuilding. Courageous heroes like Larry are moving back, rebuilding New Orleans, rebuilding their lives, rebuilding this community.
And then I think perhaps the most important thing is that you're here. And the act of being here lets people in the New Orleans area know that the country still cares and is behind them.
We're fortunate enough to see a ceremony of them kind of like handing over the keys to, or literally handing over the keys of a newly built home to a new resident, Larry, and just seeing the volunteer handing the keys and hug him, and just knowing like that he's going to have like a much better start than he would have otherwise. And it really made a huge difference for his life and his family's life. It was by far the best experience so far.
Without you, I couldn't be here right now today. And I appreciate it, and I will continue to volunteer as I have been doing in the past. Just because I live here doesn't mean it stops on me, because I'm not the only one who needs help. Again, I would like to thank you all. Love y'all.